Yay, we're in a podcast.
You're Camden.
This is the fourth one.
No, all right. You're Camden.
I'm Camden.
No, you're Camden.
Yeah.
Yeah, come on. You're Camden.
You're Chris.
And I'm Robby.
Yay!
Yay!
I had no clue what you were trying to tell me. Oh my god, I'm so embarrassed now. I just want to look at myself. Okay.
Alright, so we just finished filming Nerf Arena yesterday, Camden.
We did finish filming Nerf Arena.
That was a final Nerf video.
The 4 seasons.
Yeah, Nerf
Technically,
Nerf Arena, the 4 seasons.
Well,
technically,
Nerf Arena, go suck a dick. That's what it should be called. Nerf Arena. This is just for the I couldn't
millions of
think
dollars.
Never mind, I quit.
No, not even close.
Did you say millions?
So yesterday,
Right.
I believe it was in the upper 90s for temperature.
Yeah.
Oh.
And but the whatever the hell it's called, it felt like they say on the announcements, but it'll feel like this, and it felt like 105, I think it was. And Camden, you weren't outside the whole day filming, but me and Grant were. We were outside filming from noon to 6. So that's 6 straight hours of filming outside in 105-degree weather. That was rough. In fact, Robby, it was so rough because I get this thing where when I'm really nervous to film a video, my stomach just feels uneasy. I get stomach aches all the time. You know how you get headaches or whatever? Most people say, oh, I got a headache. I don't really get headaches that much. But stomach aches, I get them all the time. And that's what I get when I'm really nervous to film a video. So I was up hanging out with y'all. And then I was like, oh, no, it's 3 a.m. I got to wake up in a couple hours to film a video. So, well, because I have to drive down and shower and all that. So really I had to wake up at 10 or whatever. And I was not in bed yet. And I was like, this is less than 8 hours. It's not going to go well for me. So anyway, I was already sleep deprived. And then I ate cereal and the milk didn't sit well, so I was already in a stomach ache and stuff. So we go over and then we're filming in 105-degree weather and we didn't really have any food at the house, so all we had was drinks. So I was just drinking a lot. Towards the end, Robby, it got so bad, I actually vomited.
Wow.
I puked out my guts. It was the worst puke I've ever had in my life.
I never got to see it, which was pretty disappointing.
Yeah. What happened was, it was during an intense 1v1 fight with me and Grant, where we had to get it in one take. The take will last for 15 seconds or so, which doesn't sound long, but in fighting-wise, when you're just swinging as hard as you can and running and slashing and killing, that's a lot. Especially when you filmed it 20 times trying to get it right, and then you finally get it right on that one take. We got it right, and as my dad was doing the playback, because he was filming it, this is how psychotic I am. Because we had made the joke a couple hours before that, because I was saying I don't feel good. They're like, oh, if you puke, we should get on camera. I was like, oh, okay. Hours later, he was watching the playback. All of a sudden, I thought in my head, oh, no, I'm going to puke. So I couldn't even say anything. So me, the psychotic director that I am, I just put my hand on the camera, pressed pause on the footage, hit the thing so it goes to camera mode, and I just pressed the record button and turned the camera towards me, and I started vomiting like crazy.
What? You made sure you were recording it.
I held my stomach in as much as I could until I hit record, and then it all went out.
Dude, that has to be the after the credits thing.
I mean, But unfortunately, my dad didn't point it at me because he thought it was he thought I just didn't want to watch the footage because I was about to puke, and he didn't think he would want me recording me puking, but I wanted it.
Wait, so you didn't get the shot?
No, he got about 9 seconds of it. He turned the camera for 2 seconds, and you see puke come out of my mouth. But at the very end, you can hear audio that's horrible. Here, wait, let me get the camera.
Oh, great.
Here, I'll play the audio into the microphone.
Fun.
Oh, man.
The audio at the end, as far as I can hear it, it's you can hear a lot of slush. It was so horrible. Because I hadn't eaten anything, so it was just liquid coming out, and it was bad. It was so painful. It was really bad. It just kept coming out. Wait,
That's what she said.
No, I said it. I'm a he.
I sit
For
corrected.
now, Caitlin.
Whoa, what's wrong with you? Where is it?
No,
Here it is.
Cut your
All
dick
right.
off.
That's the audio.
Ugh, I don't want to hear that shit. Why are you telling me this?
I didn't hear it.
Why are you here? Why are you making me listen to this?
Put it on again. I didn't hear it.
Again?
Can you hear it? It was bad. It was bad.
I'm gonna
the
throw
ending
up.
the ending you can hear slush. Like it's not even me going it's just slush.
Fuck you.
Yeah, it was like 6 rounds of puke coming out, and then the last 2 were dry heaves. The dry heaves were the worst, I think.
Yeah, dry heaves are the worst kind of throw up.
Yeah, and then
apparently people who are drunk.
Then I walked
that.
away, went into the kitchen, grabbed some Gatorade to wash it out, then went back out and went, all right, let's keep going.
Dang.
A trooper.
Yep.
Dang.
I know. Yep.
I'm gonna be honest.
But,
If we were, if I was,
fun.
if I was filming like production like that in like years to come, I would be like, hold on, I need some time to breathe. I need some time to breathe.
In real
For
life,
throwing
though,
up?
when we start filming videos, if I puke, you have my permission to film me.
Yay.
Because then it's like when you're in a court case and you're like saying this is the story, and they go, well, how do we know? And then you show them footage and they go, they told the truth. That'll be our evidence.
That you puked? Why do we ever need evidence that you puked?
Because it's like it's a cool story, but people will be thinking, I doubt that actually happened. No, here it is. It's cool though when they finally
That's
see
weird
it.
to
Like,
compare
oh my God,
to
he
a
really
court
did.
case.
Yeah.
I mean, come on.
Well,
That
Oh,
was
that
an intense
whatever
day of
happened.
filming,
Come on.
and that was the last filming I did for a Nerf video. Which, fun fact, so people have been online. I assume this will probably come out after Nerf Arena comes out. Fun fact, Nerf Arena is actually the last Nerf video I filmed, but the last one I will upload is the final 10 things. Literally just for the complete purpose of I want it to be the last one I upload. There's pretty much no other reason.
Well, the epilogue is amazing.
Yeah, there's like at the end of 10 things and another 10 things, there's like a little bonus scene. This one, the final 10 things, it's a really cool bonus scene that like it comes full circle.
No, I'm thinking of 2. The end of the last video will like wrap up Nerf altogether, and then there's a bonus scene that's pretty cool too.
Yeah.
Sorry to tease you all, but you can't.
Don't worry,
sluts.
Chris. As soon as you finish, as soon as you upload all those the two Nerf videos, then you'll be right back into being stressed again with Spartan Super Soldier.
Pretty much.
But hey,
Pretty much.
you will be done with the Nerf.
I know. I will. I will. I will. And it's nice because
that's kind of exciting.
I was shocked because when I made the video saying I'm moving and I'm quitting Nerf after 2 Nerf videos, I thought to myself, I'm going to lose so many subscribers, just have so many dislikes on this video, people are going to hate me. It was the complete opposite. Most people, it was like 95% of people were like, hey, we're happy for you, you know, hey, I'm sad to see it go, but at least you're finishing off strong, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, oh my God.
And yet I guarantee and yet I guarantee you 95% of that 95% is definitely those kind of, the 9, like
so
there's
what
5
percentage is that? 92.5%?
I think that's 90.
No, 95% of the
no,
of
you're
those
right.
people.
That's 90. That'd be like
no.
91.
What I'm saying is the 95% that
Hang on, I need to do this phone thing.
No, hold on.
95% of 95.
No.
On, I'll figure this out. Shut up. I'm doing math.
It wasn't 95 people.
95.
Dude, I'm the math guy, and I don't even know how to do that.
Hang on. 0.95 times 0.95. 90.2. Wait. 90.25%. There we go.
Anyways, whatever the percentage, those people are
I just said it, dumbass. 90.25%.
Wait, you did. Okay, wait. You did 9.5 times 9.5.
No, I did
0.95.
0.95
0.95 times
that's
0.95.
what I was gonna say.
Point, and then I get 0.9025.
So that's 90.2%.
Yeah.
No,
Whatever.
it's 90.25.
Anyways, most of those
Technically,
people.
rounded up, it's 90.3.
Why? Why did we get to this part of the podcast?
But also rounded down to 90%.
Sorry to
Yeah,
make you all do math.
Why
in
are
the
we
summer.
talking about math?
I mean, we need Spencer for this. He's Asian.
Yeah. I'm actually the best at math in Deep Sheet.
Guaranteed.
You are?
I like barely pass algebra.
Dude, I'm actually like really good at math.
class are you in?
I'm going to be in pre-calc, but I should
Oh shit.
but I should be in calculus next year.
Have
What?
fun. I bailed out before I even got to pre-calc.
Uh,
This is how it went for me, alright? Math in general, I was always put in the GT class in like elementary, middle school and stuff, and I hated it because like you were forced to do the hard stuff. And then in 9th grade, because like I went to online school for 7th and 8th grade, and I just took the regular classes and I learned algebra. Then in 9th grade, I picked algebra on purpose because I was like, I'm done
Yeah,
doing
I
hard
remember
math.
that.
I'm picking this. 9th grade, no joke, I probably slept at least a third of my time was me asleep, flat out asleep in class. I would walk in, fall asleep. There was one time, and the teacher didn't care. The teacher didn't care about any of the students. She would just say things and whatnot, and I'd just fall asleep. And I kid you not, one time I woke up, and there was a test right in front of me. It was like the quarter test or whatever. And I looked at it, and I looked around, I was like, oh shit, we're taking a test.
what?
I grabbed my pencil. I was like, I just scribbled down a bunch of answers, flipped it over, went right back to sleep. Next day, got it. Well, not the next day, like the next month or whatever. They take forever to grade things. Got it handed back, got an A+, 100%. I was like,
What?
Dang.
You guessed?
10th and 11th grade, that's a different story.
You guessed?
10th and 11th grade.
Hold
I
up, back
struggled.
up. You guessed that entire test and got 100%.
I didn't guess it. I answered it the best I could, but I had just
Oh.
woken up. So that was what was funny about it. Was like I was asleep, woke up, answered all the questions, went right back to sleep, 100%.
I bet the
guarantee.
Happened
teacher
ever
was
again.
just like, screw you, Chris. Just
Yeah.
screw you.
Yeah,
I guarantee-
it was third because like the first 2 quarters they like they have like the set comments to put on your report card. Student does well in class and stuff. And mine was student's pleasure to teach because I'm amazing. And then third quarter it was student sleeps in class. And I showed it, and they're like, "You sleeping?" And I was like, "Yeah, but look at that A, right?" And they're like, "I mean, it's an A, so you can't really argue with that." So fourth quarter that was an A as well.
So, I guarantee you, by the way, I guarantee you that some of those kids, like, they were still doing the test when you woke up, and they were still doing
yeah.
it after you fell asleep,
Oh, yeah.
and they found out you had an A. They got pissed.
Oh yeah, oh, yeah. There was in 12th grade there was this kid.
Wait,
And
did you take math in 12th grade? Were you
No.
allowed?
Oh yeah. That's the thing. Okay, so like at my
yeah,
school.
I have to.
Yeah, because you're 2 years behind me. And my year 2015 was the last generation or whatever, last class I guess
Class.
that
Generation.
that only was required to take 3 years or 3 credits of math. So I completed algebra 2 in 11th grade. So, and this is how stupid school is. They actually marked me down like. You know how you ask for classes or whatever?
Yeah,
They
I
typed
finished
it up
algebra 2
automatically
in-
without me.
ninth
Without me
grade.
even asking, they wrote me down for I forget what it was called. It was like data analysis or something. It was typed up on my thing. I was like, what? I don't want that. And they were like, oh, it's there. So then
Well,
12th grade
yeah.
happened, and the first week happened, and I hated it. And I was like, I don't even need math. I'm doing filmmaking. You don't need math for filmmaking. And I hate how whenever you tell a teacher that, they'll come up with the most ridiculous excuses that you will need to. It's like, well, there's a lot of people in production. You're going to have to count them all up. It's stupid. But anyway, it's like I don't need to know the hypotenuse of an octagon in order to make a film. But
Hey,
and so
Leo DiCaprio,
so then
you know
after
what
a
you know
week-
what this is? No. I'm
but
an
after
actor.
a week of that, I went to my parents. I was like, yeah, I don't want math anymore. I want to take ancient medieval history, which is the most BS
What?
class in my school. And
Which I
and so
won.
my dad had to go in and argue with my counselor, saying he's not required to do it and he doesn't want to do it. And she kept saying, well, he should have changed this before. And he was like, yes, but he doesn't want to do it. And my dad had to like pull tricksy maneuvers till they finally got rid of it. And then I didn't have to take math anymore. It was amazing.
Tricksy maneuvers.
Yeah, it was amazing.
Anyways, back to the point. Most of those people that supported you, guaranteed, those are the kind of people that are like, hey, Nerf videos, where are they at?
Yep.
That's
yeah,
where we
well,
were? How'd we get to math?
Because I said 95% of 95%
Oh,
of
yeah, you
those
said-
were like,
Oh yeah.
Alright, that
and
was
then
your
and then
fault.
you decided to do the math, and then Camden said he's the best
Okay,
in
back
do
to my
cheap,
thing in
and then blah,
12th
blah,
grade.
blah.
All right, so in physics, there was this kid. It was me and him. We were the only ones in class who got A's. Everyone else got like C's and D's. They had no clue what they were doing. They copied off of me all the time. And he was competitive in the annoying way, where he would passively aggressively announce or say he was better than me. This is what would happen every time we were handed back a test. He would turn around because he was always, near the front, and I was always in the back because I like sitting in the back. He would turn around and go, "Hey, what'd you get?" And I was like, 92. And he was like, "Oh, I got 95." Turn right back around. I'm like, "You asshole, I hate you," because I know what he's thinking, and I'm like,
I'm gonna
and then every time
kill that
he
guy's
would.
butt.
I love the point. I love like every once in a while he would turn around and go, "Hey, what'd you get?" And I was like, 100%. He was like, "I only got 97." I was like, "That's too bad." Turned right back around. And I was sticking on my middle finger like.
You didn't get my joke.
You can shove that 97% up your ass.
You didn't get my joke.
No.
I said I'm gonna frickin' kill that guy's butt. That's what I said in the first Alan Todd.
You did?
Yeah,
dude, that's way too far back for me to remember. That's like half of my life ago.
Because you told me like, okay, you said either you said, okay, say either I'm gonna frickin' kill that guy or I'm gonna kick his butt, and then like in mid sentence I thought of both and I couldn't pick one, so I like said both. I was like, I'm gonna frickin' kill that guy's butt.
Wait, you still remember that?
I barely remember it, and you just told me.
I also just rewatched some Alan Todd's a few weeks ago.
God. You were hyper.
I was hyper
crack.
AF.
AF.
What happened?
I don't know.
I mean, did they like stick tranquilizers in you or something?
Yeah, I mean, I became a stoner. Just kidding. I don't.
Not officially though.
I don't do drugs. I'm mad because
stones, kids.
I'm mad because a lot of people say I look like a huge stoner, and I'm like, but I'm not.
I mean, it's better for you to look like one but not be one than to not look like one but be one.
You said the same thing.
No, I didn't.
No, he said it's better to look like one and not be one than to not look like one and be one.
Thank you, Robby.
See, ladies and gentlemen, that's rare. All
right, thank you, Robby, for the explanation I didn't need.
The moment when Camden says, "Yeah, you're right," is the moment Christopher's happy. It doesn't happen very often, but when it does, Christopher's happy. Camden, you're like the most competitive person ever.
I know.
I
need to win at everything. I don't care what it is.
You need to be right about it. If we were sitting around, "Hey, how many hairs do you think you have on your head?" You'd be like, "I don't know, maybe like 5 million." I'm like, "I'd guess like 6 million." No, it's definitely 5 million. Well, it's 5 million.
Okay, no. It's not that bad, but it's most. Yeah. But anyway, so if someone says, if I say like this happened here, and then someone was like, no, that definitely didn't happen. This happened instead, and I know that they're wrong. I will make sure that they know that they're wrong too. I'll just be like, no, look it up right now, and they're like, I don't want to look it up right now. It's not that big a deal. It's a big deal to me.
I remember we were driving over to your house, driving you to drop you off at your house, and this was like right when it hit spring, or I think it was like during winter or whatever. And we were pulling up on your driveway, and there was like snow all over the place. So we were like, "Oh, did you guys didn't finish it all?" And you're like, "Well, yeah, we didn't really, because it's a lot of snow in our driveway." And because my driveway, in case you watched like Nerf Gun Zombie Attack, it's a giant hill.
Yeah.
And so we were like, I mean, we kind of get most of ours, and we have a lot bigger driveway than you guys. And you were like, well, yeah, but you guys have like more people and stuff, and it's just us. And we are like, well, yeah, okay, so it's me and my dad, and my mom, does her best, but we just have a grandma. You have you, your dad, your mom, and your sister, and you. And you just kept coming up with excuses, and then eventually we were like, yeah, but we have the giant hill, and we have to like use this things and stuff. And eventually you just went, well, I guess you're better than us. And my parents started laughing. I was sitting there like, oh my god. I will never forget that.
I was just like, well, I guess you're better than me then.
It gets to the point where if I ever like say something crazy like Fight Club came out in 1998, Camden would freak out and say no.
Because you're wrong.
No.
You need to know.
But normal people don't just shout at people if they're wrong. They just calmly say, no, that it actually came out in 1999.
Okay, no, I won't yell at you for stupidity like that, but I'll yell at you if you're like really like hardcore trying to say that I'm wrong when I know that I'm not wrong. Because 90% of the time I'm not wrong. Okay, like my friend, I won't say his name, but he knows who he is. Dumb bitch. And we always argue. And he thinks he's a movie buff, but he's not a movie buff. This is the guy who likes The Hobbit better than Lord of the Rings.
That's such an idiot. If you like the Hobbit trilogy more than Lord of the Rings, I'm sorry, but you have something wrong with your brain.
Exactly.
Hobbit trilogy's better. No, I'm kidding.
You haven't even seen it.
Yeah. So yeah, Robby hasn't seen Lord of the Rings, Star Wars.
Harry
what else
Potter.
haven't you seen? Harry Potter. Those are.
You said no. Wait, you told me you have seen Harry Potter. You watched it recently.
No, I didn't.
Oh my god, kill yourself.
I've never told you I've watched
Oh
it.
my god, kill yourself. Those are like okay.
Those are literally the 3 biggest movies.
When I go up to someone
time,
and I say,
probably.
"You've seen Harry Potter, right?" and they go, "No," I've said, "Have you seen Star Wars?" And they say, "No." Have you seen Lord of the Rings? If they said no, if those are my checklist. If you haven't seen all 3, there's something wrong with you. I love how there was one time we were talking about it. We were like, because we've known Robby for years and he still has yet to watch Lord of the Rings. And at one point he went, "Hey guys, I'm telling you right now." We're like, "What?" And I'm gonna watch what you guys wanted me to watch for a long time. What is it? And you're like, "I'm gonna finally watch Star Wars." And we're like, "Well, watch Lord of the Rings first." And you're like, and you just went, "Yeah, but I already know what happens in that." And you're like, and you don't know what happens in Star Wars. And you're like, "No."
Don't say it.
So just because you
Don't
know
say
what
it.
happens in Lord of the Rings means you won't watch it, but you want to see Star Wars because you don't know what happens in it. You're like, "Yep." And I just went,
Don't.
Vader's Luke's father. He chops off Luke's hand, and then Luke chops off
I
Luke's
have
hand,
to
and Vader
censor
throws the
this
Emperor
out.
down the mine shaft, and then Leia is his sister, and then Luke and Leia kiss, and and Padme dies giving childbirth. I spoiled the entire series for him in like 20 seconds. I forget your reaction. What was your reaction to that?
You said, no. After you said that, I like sat there for a second. I was like, all right, I'm gonna go watch Lord of the Rings, guys. See you later.
And then you never did because you're a cocksucker.
Here, how about this? By the end of summer, I'll watch everything.
No, by the end of tomorrow.
Okay,
Guaranteed.
you took 2 years to watch Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
Guaranteed.
This is a guy who took 2
Guaranteed.
years to watch Game of Thrones.
And Game of Thrones
Well,
is 50 hours of
because
content versus
it
No,
11-ish
40
for
at
Lord of
that
the Rings.
point because he hadn't.
Yeah,
'cause season
11-ish
5
for
hadn't
Lord of
come
the
out.
Rings.
it's
10-ish,
because
like-
of the fact that back then I was a cocksucker. Okay, I'll admit it.
You still are.
I was a cocksucker. I didn't.
What do you mean back
You
then?
don't understand the fact that the more
It's more like this. It's like, oh, you still are.
you don't understand the fact that the more you bring it up,
At least you know.
the less I want to do it.
Hillary told me you still were.
Hillary
But
said,
the more you bring it up,
Robbie's still a cocksucker.
That's my favorite vowel.
Everyone's singing with me. That is my
I'd have sex with that vowel. I'd have sex with I too, in an order that would surprise you.
No, it was I would have sex with the letter I and you,
Yeah.
but in an order that would surprise you.
Yeah, I would have sex with that letter in a way that would surprise you.
stop.
Bill
Stop with the
Clinton's a funny
politics,
guy.
man. Anyways, the more you tell me to do it, the less I will do it. Like, if you tell me, hey, you should floss your teeth more often, I'm gonna do that even
You
less
say
now.
wash your teeth?
Floss.
Floss. Okay.
Wait, what is this flossing your teeth? What's that?
It's when you grab like a string, and you just like dig into your gums. Like, you know when you're
I
cooking
have 5
chicken,
gum.
You
You have 5? Alright, you put it into 5 of your teeth, and then you chew on it, and then you
No,
don't
I
swallow.
no the gum company 5 gum.
I wonder if like hookers chewed a lot of gum when they were kids, because then it must have been beaten into their brains. Don't swallow.
Oh. And plus, when you think about
I was
hookers,
wondering where you were going, and I was like, what is this guy talking about?
but when you think about hookers on the street, you imagine them smacking some gum in their mouth, like they.
That is true. They practice. They practice.
They practice.
They practice.
So okay, wait. How come
Yeah,
How come hookers are always ugly?
I know, they've been at it a
because
lot.
the men beat them.
Oh shoot.
I don't know.
That
about-
hooker in Breaking Bad was ugly.
Yeah, that's also.
Oh,
'cause
yeah.
That's
they
why
do a
me and
lot of
Spencer always
drugs.
called the spitter in Left 4 Dead Wendy, because she looks kind of like her.
Oh,
Yeah.
That was my
You've been
exact
saying that
reaction.
for years, and I haven't gotten it. I just finished watching Breaking Bad, and I watched the whole show in a matter of 2 weeks.
You know what?
And yet you say, and yet you're always like, we always say, you watch too much movies, and you're like, not really. I'm always busy.
I am busy. I just find
I call
time.
bullshit.
I.
Busy watching other things.
But anyways,
what do you call football then?
Huh?
What do you call football then? That's not
Okay,
busy.
how were you able to watch Breaking Bad in 2 weeks?
Well, okay. Well, football is also in the morning, but there's like some night. I also
When
say,
do we
like,
hang out in the morning?
I also say
I'm
like,
not even awake till like 2.
I also say like forget football because like it starts at 7 in the morning. It's 7 to 9. It's just weight training and then running. But
it starts
like,
at 7 in the morning.
I
for you?
should. Yeah, let me finish.
It starts
yeah,
at
Robby
10.
does
It,
football too,
it starts
it's
at
really
10
weird.
for me.
Cool. Let me finish, bitch.
Starts at 2 for me. Just kidding. That's just when I wake up.
and then so I. It's always like you have to go to bed at 12 if you want to be able to actually be awake during football. And then so last year I was like, okay, and then this year I'm just kind of like, screw this, and then I stay up late and watch movies.
You see, I hate it when you and Daniel and Robby and all you little athletic bitches are always sitting there, and we're like, all right, let's go play Halo Reach. And you're like, but it's Halo Reach in the console. You check your dashboard. It's not in the console. You're like, well, go get it. That means I gotta get up. You play football, you idiot. Okay,
It's mainly
you can't
a joke.
Okay, then how come you do it every single time and you take your time with it? And you're like, it's not in this case. I can't grab another one.
See, that's why when I transferred into having a desk now, I keep the games that I always play on my desk, so I never have to get up.
Camden's TV's not HD, and I hate that when I'm at his house.
Well, when was the last time you've been to my house? We always go to your house.
That's a reason.
That's not the reason. The reason is because we can watch whatever the fuck we want and say whatever the fuck we want.
Yeah. We can be loud and everything, and we won't get yelled at. Love you, Mr. and Mrs. Fraser.
You should show him this video now. Thanks to that.
What video?
Mom,
This
Dad, come
video.
down here.
Oh.
We're talking about you.
You always said, Camden, whenever you were at my house, you were afraid.
I was afraid.
Yeah,
Wait.
like every time it was night, because like there's a giant
Oh,
window
Oh
next
yeah,
to us.
because we always
we're
sleep
not
in the living room, and to the left is the giant window, and there used to be the Grim Reaper out there.
Are you afraid now?
No,
You just paused for a second.
Yeah.
I had to think about it. It's creepy still. I mean, everyone's house is creepy at night in the dark, no matter what. To me,
Yeah, I understand. I'm one of those
Even
kids.
my
As soon as I
house,
turn off my light, I gotta rush to the bed and get under
Yeah.
the covers.
Yeah,
Even
even
the
at my
monsters
yeah.
will
house,
get me.
like my Xbox is in the basement, and then so I
Yep.
have to, when I turn off the lights down here, I have to run upstairs. I have to turn we have so many lights in my house, but like I turn on a light. I turn on a light upstairs, then I come back down, turn the basement lights off, so that way it's not pitch black when I'm going up the stairs. Then I turn on a light going to the upstairs,
Yep.
and then
Yep.
turn off the light that's in the middle floor, and then run upstairs, and then turn the light on in my room and the light off that's like on the stairs.
Yep. I got a system.
Dude, clap on, clap off. That's all you gotta do.
Like the STD.
Sorry, I'm not rich as hell and have those kind of clapping lights. Screw.
Robby, aren't you like the second poorest in Deep Sheep? Alex being the poorest.
I thought Robby was poor.
I think Robby's lower middle class. It's just he has a lot of family members because
Yeah.
I mean his family doesn't know what a condom is.
I mean, they are
Yeah.
Hispanic.
They use balloons. They're like, I don't know, close enough.
Do they pop? No, they're fine.
Don't
Well,
worry, they're
yeah,
not
aren't
picking
you
up
like
the
the
phone.
second poorest?
I wouldn't know, but all I know is all I know for a fact is that Spencer's the richest.
Yeah. That's
I'm
a fact, that's a
second.
fact. Yeah, you're the second.
I'd say you're third. Or I don't know what Daniel's life is like.
Yeah, me and Daniel are close. I'm not sure. I don't know. Yeah.
Alright, well now since we talked about rich and poor, let's talk about Mexicans.
What? Okay, so I got a story for you. All right, so I was on vacation in Disneyland. All right,
Is this about Mexicans?
and this summer, and we went on the Tower of Terror
That's not what I said.
because I do that. Which, by the way, Camden, you're a pussy.
Okay. There's a lot of
You-
kids that don't want to
Camden
go on
doesn't
the Tower of
ride.
the Terror.
Camden doesn't ride roller. Wait, do you?
Yeah, I
ride
do.
roller
I ride
coasters?
most roller coasters. It's just
All right, you
what
won't
I
ride
don't
Tower
like.
Terror because it drops.
It's
Oh,
no,
that's
it's
so
too
scary.
much of a drop. I don't like that
That's what's
feeling
fun
in my
about it.
stomach in drop towers.
It's exciting. All right, when I was 6,
You know
I
what's
went to Disney
exciting?
World.
Porn.
I went
Try
to
it.
ride Tower of Terror. My parents forced me. I was like, I'm scared. Rode it. I said I hate it. I will never ride it again. Not even an hour later, I was like, hey, can we ride that ride again? And then we rode it again, and then it became my favorite ride at Disney World. And then, a couple years later, I'm at Disney World. If you go on Camden's Instagram, you'll find this damn picture. We were
Yeah.
in Disney World just wandering around, and out of nowhere, we found Camden and his family. We're like, oh my god, we're at Disney World at the exact same time. Oh my god. And we were freaking out and stuff, and I was like, Camden, we gotta ride Tower of Terror, man. Imagine, this will never happen again. This is my favorite ride. You've never ridden it. Let's do it. Camden would not do it. That's why in that picture, when we smiling,
Or
Camden,
7, something
you
like
were
that.
7 and I was like 9. That's why in that picture, I am smiling like this kid is a pussy, and you're smiling like this kid's gonna hit me.
You're right.
That's what our smiles say. But anyway, back to my Tower of
That year
Terror
also
story.
we got a Star Wars picture.
Oh yeah, I love that Star Wars picture.
I still have that in my room.
Yeah. You have facial hair and I still don't.
Yeah, mine looks really weird, and then yours actually looks normal.
Yeah, I was proud of mine too. I was like, damn. It's one and only time you'll see my
All right,
forehead.
continue with the Tower of Terror.
What? Yeah, I know. I was gonna do that. You don't have to tell me, bitch. So Tower of Terror, right? I was going on Tower of Terror this time. I was 17, and we were in the front of the line. We've been waiting for like hours and hours, and it was nighttime, or maybe it was daytime. I don't remember. Anyway, and we were standing there, and all of a sudden, this cracked up woman with tattoos and stuff. She's like a teenager or whatever, or like she's in her 20s. She just wandered up to me and was like, "Hey, is this where the elevator is?" And I was like, "What?" And she was like, and she was like, "Yeah, me and my boyfriend, we're trying to find our friends, and we think we went on there." And I was thinking in my head, is she serious right now? Like, or is she just making a joke? What's going on? And her boyfriend was one of those guys that wears gauges in his ears that like
Oh, I
stretches
hate
out
those.
the hole,
I hate
so like
those.
enough that you could fit like fingers in there. So I was like, these people are weird. And he was just on his phone and then looking up and around like he had no clue where he was. And you know how, oh wait, Camden doesn't. Robbie, have you ever been to Disney World or Disneyland?
No.
Oh my god. Okay,
What?
well, alright. When you're going on the ride, alright, there's like, it's a giant building, like a tower. It's Tower of Terror. So you go inside, and they have it all set up like it's a 1930s hotel, but it's like super old and decrepit. There's cobwebs everywhere. There's like, you know, benches and stuff. It's as if you're in a real hotel. Well, you have like the waiting bars, you know, where the lines are, so you're not supposed to like go past them and actually like touch things. You know, you're not supposed to touch anything. Well, the guy with the gauge, her boyfriend, just went right underneath the rope like it was nothing and just started walking around on his phone, walking all around the place. And we're like, dude, you're not supposed to be, dude. And we're like, we don't want to tell him to not do that. I mean, he's got a gauge in his ear. The man's serious.
He doesn't
And we
care
turn to
about
the
life if
people
he
who are
has
like,
gauges in your ear.
we turned to the Disneyland employees and they're not paying attention. And the woman just kept asking me and my mom, like, where are my friends? We're supposed to find them. They went over here, but we're trying to catch up. We're supposed to. And she kept looking around and stuff, and she looked high, and we were like, I don't know, clue. And my mom was like, okay, well, that elevator over there, that's where you go up. You know, you go in a little library thing, and then you go on the ride. And she was like, so that's where the elevator is? And she was like, yes, that's where your friends went. And she was like, oh, okay, all right, I guess. And my mom looked at her straight in the eye and had like the really like nice voice. And she went, so that's where your friends went. So you'll have to go around because if you stay here, you'll never see them again. And the woman just looked at my mom and went, I'll never see them again? She looked so terrified, and my mom looked her dead in the eye. I was like, yep, that's what'll happen. I was like, whoa, Mom. And the woman was like, oh, okay, I'll go back. And my mom was like, yeah, you better. And then the guy, and she was like, come on, Greg, or whatever the hell his name was. Come on, Greg, we have to
Gage.
go. And he was like,
That's probably his name,
okay.
Gage.
And he stepped back over the line. He was like, he didn't even say excuse me. He just brushed past people and then left. I turned to my mom, and my dad was like, really, you'll never see them again? And my mom was like, I don't know, I had to say that to get her to leave.
It reminds me of the Family Guy thing when Lois was like, now put your son's candy in my son's bag.
Yeah.
Now put
Whoa,
in
someone's wearing the
$40.
ovaries on the outside today.
Now put in $40 in the bag. I don't have $40. All right, I get it. Money's tight. I'll be back tomorrow with the $80 you owe me, and I'm taking the welcome mat.
Dude, Chris, you just made like the perfect Minecraft shorts.
I know, I'm great. I love me.
Anyways,
Love me? Is that what you said?
You bet.
Camden, it's a
Camden, this is a
podcast. You're not supposed to be
not
singing.
your damn radio station.
I'll kill myself later.
No, you can do it right now.
Live on the podcast.
Here, I'll play a gunshot sound.
Okay.
Robby, tell a story.
It's 11:56 where I am.
It was a short
That
ass
was
story.
a dumb story, and I hope you die from it. I hope that one from the 11:56 comes out of your computer and goes up your ass. I'm dead now. Darn.
All right, Robby, now we're alone.
Okay. Wait, you
Let's
shot
do
multiple
some
gunshots.
dirty stuff.
That means you killed all of us. Anyways,
No, I just aimed the gun at him only.
How long has this been? Because I kind of messed up my audio, so right now it says 18 minutes.
For
don't-
me, it says 37:20.
Okay.
yeah, it's the same for me. Anyways, what's it called?
I don't
Damn,
know.
we're
What
gonna-
is it?
no, we did the timestamp, the thing we're not supposed to do, Robby. No.
What?
No.
What?
We promised each other after the first podcast. Daniel at one point said a timestamp, and Robby hated that because, like, I don't know. Why'd you hate it?
Because, okay, I have a severe personal OCD. It's not like medication wise or anything like that, but I have severe personal OCD. So whenever something's out of line, it bugs with me. Like the Deep Sheep channel was originally titled Capital Deep, Capital Sheep, but with no space in between. So that really irked me. So I signed in on the channel, and it took a long time to sign in. I signed in, renamed the channel to Deep Sheep Studios with spaces and all capitalized and everything. And it was perfect. It was great. And now I'm the one who manages the front page because I know for a fact if I let anyone else manage the front page of the channel, they will mess it up on purpose. And the
You're
reason
OCD,
why
it makes sense. I'm OCD too.
and the reason why it messed with me so much is because Daniel purposely said in the video, and he knew I had to cut stuff out. So it was like 2 minutes. It was like 11 minutes or something like that.
So, Camden, how's your day?
What? What happened to Rob? Where'd he go?
What happened?
What happened? So,
Dude, Underworld's a great movie.
All right, I'm back.
The only vampire versus werewolf movie that's actually good.
Anyways, when Daniel,
I mean, like, really good.
gonna go with an unpopular opinion here. I actually really love Twilight.
so
Shall I get the gun back out?
so Camden's no longer part of Deep Sheep. Anyways,
You'd get
Looking
kicked
Looking
out
for
way before
replacements
me.
right now? Send us an email at deepsheepstudios@gmail.com.
You'd get kicked out way before me. Queer.
I would. Anyways,
No, you wouldn't.
the reason why it irked me so much is because I had to cut stuff out. So when he said it in like without cutting stuff out, it was when he said it. It had the timestamp correct. But when I cut it out, it was like 9 minutes and some seconds. So it was like, Daniel, why would you say that? I hate that because
Did you like go black all of a sudden and just like clap your hands after every word?
I'm gonna mess you up right now.
but it's just I hate. And Spencer is
40 minutes. We're exactly 40 minutes into the podcast.
damn it, Chris.
So, Robby, what's the passcode?
Yeah, what's the passcode, Robbie?
Should we explain that too?
Go right ahead.
So basically, on our downtime, whenever we have nothing to do,
Never
let's
say
talk about
basically.
something else
When you
instead.
say basically, you go into detail, so it's not basic.
Hey, you dumb idiot.
Saying basically already adds too much detail.
Why are you so stupid, Robbie? Honestly.
You're saying that as I'm struggling to stack 2 batteries on top of each other. That's all I've been doing for the
What?
past 10 minutes. I got 2 AA batteries with me, and I've like had one, like, you know, the negative end, the flat end. I have it on my desk, and then I'm stacking the other negative end on top of it, and it's harder than you think.
Have you ever tried,
I can hear
have
it
you
in
ever
the
tried
background.
stacking 3 golf balls together?
Have you ever tried shoving 3 golf balls up your ass?
Yeah, but that's another story. But so I was like, my family reunion, and they had a bunch of like.
I did it! Yay! I had to turn it around and have the plus ends matching. Go ahead.
They had a bunch of minute to win it challenges there, and then so one of the things we had to do was stack 3 golf balls on top of each other. That was hard AF.
Someone could actually do
just
that?
Get gum. Just like get
No,
gum or
no one did it. I stacked
Oh.
2 a bunch of times, and then like got really close, and no one could
That's
ever
crazy. Oh wow.
That reminds me of like the trick or whatever. Like the guy's like, "Hey, I'll bet you $100 that I can make this egg stand up on its own." The guy was like, "Hell no, you can't." He was like, "Okay." He grabbed the egg, chucked it onto the desk, and it like splatted, but it still like stood on top of its end. He was like, $100. You know?
What? Are you talking? Oh no, I thought you were talking about the Vine where he was like, "Hey, do you think I can get this egg into that jar without it cracking?" And he was like, "No," and then he threw it straight at his face, and he was
Let's
like,
talk about-
I guess you're right."
I don't watch Vine, so.
Let's talk about what everyone's problem is. So my problem is my OCD. Like
don't
it's
have any problems.
way out of handle. And plus, you know,
I don't have any problems.
I
'cause I'm
also
perfect.
another problem with me
Yep.
with which the fans don't know.
shoes.
I say "be right back," and "be right back" in my language is about 2.5
Yep.
hours. So,
Yep. It definitely is.
and
The
then
worst
I also
things
don't
you
know.
can he-
I
the
don't
worst
know the
thing you
definition
can-
of a nap. I always go for a nap and I wake up 5 hours
Oh
later.
yeah. Oh,
That killed
yeah.
Christopher during season 1. I think we were gonna film an episode, and you needed me to be there, or it was some sort of important episode, or something important, like really
All of them are
freaking
important.
important.
You jack off.
I wanted to kick you out of Deep Sheet by the end of season 1 because I hated you so much.
I remember
were
that.
such a
I remember that.
problem.
Robby was not going to be in season 2.
Yeah. I was originally gonna
because-
get kicked out, but I don't know what
Well,
changed. I don't know what
mainly
changed.
because he
Probably
didn't
me.
have
What
gold.
changed was season 2 never happened.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mainly because he never had gold.
Oh yeah, that too.
And we had
to
Well, I
keep
mean, this was
giving
told in
him, like,
episode
gift
1 of the
cards or
podcast. Kept
whatever
on having
it
to
was.
give him gold.
Yeah. Oh
Shoe
man.
shopping one time.
When yeah, Robby, the worst thing you can ever hear from Robby is, "I'm going shoe shopping."
Got a mattress one time.
What?
I gotta go help fix a bed. He was gone for like an hour and a half. How long does it take to make a bed? Gee. Did you have to go into the woods and chop down the wood and make the frame yourself? My goodness.
You have to fight off a bear for the wood.
Alright, so Robbie's problem is just okay. OCD's not his problem. His problem is not knowing time and being gone forever.
Yeah.
My-
Spencer's
mine is
problem. What's
competitiveness.
Spencer's problem?
Spencer. I don't know.
He's dumb as shit.
No. Oh,
Just
Spencer is. He usually has the different opinion of everyone else.
Yeah. He
Like,
has
when it comes
crazy
to
different
things,
opinions.
He'll have a strong opinion that none of us share, and then eventually we'll convince him, and he'll be like, "I guess I was wrong."
Like there was one time,
Yeah.
it was right after we just got finished hanging out on Xbox and all that. So me and him got in a Skype call just because of like we weren't done battling about this. So he said the PlayStation 1 wasn't a classic console, and this set me off because I was a PlayStation kid growing up. You can't do that to a PlayStation
Weirdo.
kid. You don't just walk up to some Nintendo fan and say, "Hey, the NES, that's a bag of shit." Okay, you don't do that. You don't do that.
Like a
When you
bag
walk up to a
lit on
PlayStation
From a
fanboy,
fire. Lit on fire.
when you walk
On
up
a
to a
porch
PlayStation
bench. And
fanboy
splash with
and then you
water.
say that, yeah, Mom, I'm doing.
There you go. That's his
something.
problem right there.
Yeah.
He has the
We're
lead for
almost
shit.
done. I keep telling him when I'm done doing this, I'll set it up for him. Not
I know this isn't his
even.
parents, because if this was his parents, he wouldn't.
All right.
he'd
That
be
okay.
like,
So Spencer's
okay.
problem's that. Alex's problem. What's his problem?
Okay, no.
Taking a joke too far.
He takes
no,
jokes
I
way
was-
too far.
I'll
He is
say
way too
something.
sadistic. Like
I'll
he's
say
a part
something.
of.
I'll
He's
say
a part of.
something. I'll say something. I'll say something.
Guys, I think Camden has something to say.
No, I love you, Alex, and don't think of this bad, but this is a good way to fix people's problems. I just realized. Next video, everyone's gonna be mad as shit at us.
Let's just
You-
have Alex, Daniel, and Spencer be the ones for the next
It's
one.
not.
Oh,
that,
yeah.
It's not that
Complain
he,
about us.
it's not that he talks too much. It's just like loud whenever he does, so he talks over everyone.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah.
This is-
Daniel's
this is the late
Daniel's
night with-
bipolar.
This is the late
Daniel's
night with
way
Deep
bipolar
Sheep's
wo-
problems.
Yeah, pretty much. Daniels is bipolar because he'll be really into doing something, like the tournament, and then all of a sudden just things will get in the way, and then he won't be motivated to do them for a long time, or he won't get online for a long time, or we'll be texting a conversation, and like every once in a while he'll just go text somewhere else. He did that again tonight, and that annoyed me because he did it last night, and he did it not too long ago before that.
But
Yeah,
then
I
again,
feel like
Chris-
most of the times he does that, there's no reason. It's just like he doesn't care to hear it, so he's just like do it
Pretty
somewhere
much,
else.
yeah.
Then again, Chris, that whole not inspired to do it anymore, that's kind of you too, because you ended
here's the
Spartan Super
difference,
Soldier,
though.
you brought it back
Daniel
like a
has
year
made
later.
collectively not as nearly as many videos as I've made. I've made a dickload of videos.
Yeah.
When you guys don't get motivated to do something, at least I've made a whole lot of videos behind that.
I was
My
motivated
problem-
like a year and a half ago.
Yeah.
Camden,
Yeah,
come
my
on, man, bring it back, bring it back.
My problem, I would say, is I have a memory problem. I just forget things, but that's not really that much of a
Yeah.
problem. I think my problem
You
is
don't
that-
listen.
You have a listening problem.
You
Oh,
don't
yeah, I
listen
do,
to
I
us.
do.
We
Yep.
say things, and it's just like it goes through one
It's
ear,
your way or the
processes for a
highway.
second, and then you're like, "Oh, I don't need that," and it goes right out the other.
It reminds me of the red versus blue thing where they were like, Caboose, your brain takes like 5 seconds to process everything. And so you say everything later than everyone else, and that just makes you stupider. And then he's like,
That's not true.
shut up, I was gonna say. Oh, you don't know how mad I am right now.
Because it's my thing, you know? It made more sense that if I said it. See, your problem,
my
Camden,
reference.
is that you're competitive.
You're way
you
too
get angry very
competitive,
quickly
dude.
when you don't get what you want.
You are
Competitive
way
is
too
good, it makes you a
competitive.
winner.
See? No, Camden is so weird. Because one time, like, whenever we're playing a game together in Halo Reach and it's like a tie, I always go, okay, well, at least they didn't win. And Camden will go, no, I would rather lose than tie. I was like,
I would rather
why?
lose than tie. Because okay, that's an OCD thing, though. Because, like, when you look at a record, like, in a football team.
Yeah,
you look at a
I have
record
that
and
too.
their record is, like, 5, 3, and 1. I'm like, why is the 1 there? Everyone else's record is 2 numbers, and theirs is 3. Because like, okay, so, for the
Technically,
dumbasses-
everyone's is 3 numbers. They just add a 0 at the end.
No, because you
But you
don't
never
you don't
see the zero
say
number.
the 0. And
Whatever, I
it
don't
never
do
shows
football.
the 0 unless there's a tie, so it'll say 1. Okay, so for the dumbasses out there, the first number is the wins, and then the next number is the losses, and then the last number is the tie, if there is
I
any.
knew it.
So if you look at all of it, and then it's like, it'll be like 30 teams have 2 numbers, and then there's the one game where the teams tie, and then so they have a dumb 1 at the end of it. Like, I'd rather lose than to have that dumb extra number at the end of my record. So that's that's
Yeah.
why that is that.
Oh, and you know what Nathan's problem is? Well, that's it for this late night with Sheep. Hope you guys enjoyed it. I'm Chris. Or wait, no. You're Robby.
You're Chris.
And I am Camden frickin' Praise Me.
And we will see you in the next one. Bye!